All right, I forgot to have the intro made.
Okay.
I don't want to lose the opportunity because I did actually have a video I wanted to share of our friend Alex. So we'll just pretend that this is the intro as we go.
That's great.
With a whole lot of anger, Kelly. Here's the state of play. Here's
MSNBC sucks.
Hey, how are you?
MSNBC sucks.
Talk to you for a second.
MSNBC sucks.
Okay. Sometimes this happens, and we understand that can happen. And
You gotta
while we
love
love
this
free
guy.
speech,
I-
we're
Oh,
going to
yeah.
keep control here. So
I love that her trying to
Ryan,
talk
thank
through
you.
it. We like
Shaq,
free
thank
speech.
you.
We're good.
A
Some
volatile
political
story.
thing,
We'll
yeah.
be following it, and apparently, not only Shaq cleaned up. Okay,
Shaq from the
stay
Lakers?
with us here because Ryan has cleared the set, as we would like to say.
Who's
The gentleman
Ryan, that
moved
old
on.
man?
So Ryan, let me
No,
turn
Ryan
back to
is
you.
the reporter.
Nicely handled
Oh,
there.
right.
Can you
Nicely
give us an
handled there. You
update
got rid of the
on,
problem.
as you were walking us through this? We'll all take a breath there. Maybe not. Okay.
Bravo, Alex.
Fine. See,
Hold on one second.
Yeah. Okay. We're just going to pull the plug there. Thank
Kelly,
you,
this is all
Ryan.
playing out in real.
Oh my God. See, that's what you got. This is what I've been talking to you people about. Alex Stein knows how to do this. This is what I've been promoting on this channel for years. This is the type of stuff that we have to do. And he's doing it. He later testified in that
I've got that.
Oh,
coming
you
up,
got
right?
that? Let's say, I didn't know you had that. That's great.
Of course
Stein
I do,
doing
but
double duty, Eric.
well, actually, before we get into his testimony, let's look at what some of the others are saying. Hold on. Is it the right?
Let's go ahead.
My name's Alex Stein.
Oh, here he
I'm
is.
considered
Sorry.
one of the sexiest men in conservative politics. And one thing I want to say, a lot of people are going to hear my testimony and you're going to say you're anti-LGBTQ. I want to say that's impossible because I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan. So obviously I have a lot of gay pride. But, a lot of conservatives like yourself, you want to outlaw transgenders and women's sports. I disagree. I like transgenders and women's sports because you can gamble on them and win money. I won so much money on Leah Thomas's propeller in that pool. I almost turned DraftKings, into Draft Queens. And I actually
funny.
like transgenders in the military too, because first of all,
Okay, I can't play that because of YouTube.
It's just a great rant, totally beautifully written. It sounds legit. I mean, really A+ work he's getting into lately, Stein.
Oh, absolutely. And then to share what he is actually dealing with, like who is testifying.
Oh, boy.
Let's look at these fine specimens who
Oh,
are
boy.
worried about the bathroom bill in Texas.
Oh, boy.
Now this bill would turn our basic needs to use the restroom into a legally punishable act.
My name is Marsha Davis, and I'm a 72-year-old transgender parent with a trans.
What?
Mental health around people potentially getting infections and UTIs.
Look, it's
because
the
they're not gonna
trans
be
Tucker.
comfortable using public restrooms.
Yes.
I would personally know because I just finished an antibiotic regimen myself
What?
based on my discomfort with using public restrooms at this point.
Oh,
thanks
thank
a lot
God.
for that.
Bigoted
Wow.
attacks by lawmakers sworn to protect us. Need I remind you that trans Texans are your constituents too?
Living as a woman before
Welcome,
you came
Horns.
for 11 years. And I've been happily married to my husband, Greg, for 3.
B7 means I won't volunteer at schools anymore.
Okay.
Some of you might say good.
Yes.
You don't want people
Yes.
to be around
Yes.
their kids.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
When is this going to stop? How do you guys look at yourself?
Bobby,
I can't
Bobby,
wait
knock
to
it
break
off,
this
Bobby.
line. I am a law buddy.
That's Mitch. Isn't that Mitch McConnell?
Mitch Hedberg? Mitch Hedberg, the comic?
No, Mitch McConnell in drag.
Mitch McConnell with a wig. How about the skull lady where the skulls match her head? That's her wife next to him.
Apparently.
Oh, my God. These people are dressed for success.
Yes. So apparently Alex Stein found
Alex
this.
Stein, how he gets in there and does this. First of all, he looks legit. You have to
yes.
have a certain preppy Republican kind of look. You can't fake that. You know, he really does look the part. And then he does it deadpan, which is genius. Going slightly off the rails sometimes, slightly.
Just a little, but comedy's hard on that. It's like you have to push the envelope. So how far
dude,
do you
it's
push
live
this?
comedy without a net. I mean, people don't realize what this guy's doing, folks. He's improvising this. I'm sure he wrote it out, and he's roughly sticking to a script. But they're interrupting him, and sometimes if you've seen a lot of these, and he's been on the show, he gets interrupted by police, or they try to drag him out. I mean, this is quite a bit of incredible guerrilla theater.
100%, 100%. So that actually leads into Bill Maher, who what is it? There's like the Bill Maher every other week thing. Like,
yeah,
1 week it's like, hey, look at that, he's waking
good
up.
Mar,
Next week
good
it's
Mar,
like,
bad Mar. They should put a video
go.
together, a montage of good Mar, bad Mar.
I agree. He was talking about universities being indoctrination factories, and I think that he's definitely on point with that. And this is good Bill. So you've got good Bill, you got bad Bill. Here's good Bill.
I'm not totally against it.
Yeah.
Academia needed a hot poker up the ass. Yep. I'm not saying not everything the way he's doing it, of course, is the right way. To defund scientific research.
Yes. Why would you do that?
But I mean, our universities have been out of control for a long time. They became indoctrination factories. They forgot there's absolutely no diversity of thought.
Well, and they're continuing to racially discriminate.
And
against the law.
And
the Supreme Court ruled 2 years ago. I mean, there's a lot of inefficiencies. The overhead in higher education, why it's so much more expensive than when I went. The overhead is.
Look at them kissing his ass.
Yeah, well, it's like Ali G. I'm sure if they came in, the producer, and said, "Can you reverse your positions for the next segment?" They would gladly reverse their positions, like that bit with Borat or Ali G, where they were making a political commercial and he asked them to do the opposite, and they filmed it the opposite way as well, which I think was Ali G. But that being said, Bill, still kicking and screaming, agrees with 41% of Trump policies at this point, still cannot embrace it, lying again about the Science Foundation stuff, merely a hammer to make them buckle at UCLA, which the front page of the LA Times today said UCLA has now entered into negotiations with the Trump administration to prevent the cutoff of science and research money, which was being used by Harmeet Dillon to bring them to their knees and the bargaining table. All Bill Maher knows is they're cutting out science research at the major universities. I mean, at some point, you're going to stumble onto the truth, Eric, right?
Yeah, but it depends on what you're reading. If you read all the same sources and they only report a particular story, then...
I've always read both. I don't know what is so difficult about reading both. I don't get it. I really don't get it. Especially, I'm saying, if not for a regular person, but I mean, if you're in media and you're in show business and you're in political show business, political media, it's beholden upon you to do this. And yet, I'm smoking weed all day. I don't have time for this shit.
Yeah, or even, if you don't have time to dig into every single thing, get on X, follow some people you don't even like.
Yeah.
You may not like them, but you can see the conversation happening and the arguments happening, and you can get kind of.
By the way, huge story somebody sent me out of Connecticut. The one of the largest public drug rehabs in, I guess it's a state rehab in Connecticut. The director came out and said every single person coming into the rehab now, every single one is now marijuana addiction. Al Gonzalez sent me that out of New York, and which is what I've been saying for 2 years.
In addition to other addictions?
Nope. Straight up. I don't know if I sent you the article, but everyone is coming in with a primary addiction to marijuana.
Wow.
Yeah, wow. That's how powerful it is. No, you don't understand, Mark. I've been smoking for 35 years, and it helps my back. We're not talking about you, Murray. So
right, and I don't know if the old skunk weed was as addictive as a highly refined, chemically separated, perfected THC dose.
These people are dabbing now and doing stuff that nobody did before with super, super concentrated cannabis. I could only say 7 OHMs, 7 ohm. Is the new drug on the street. 7 ohm is, let's see if I can describe this. It's kind of like a spice that you could get at a head shop, but it's been the molecules have been reconfigured to be possibly the closest thing to an opioid available in a head shop. And you will be hearing more about 7 ohm in the upcoming year.
Wow. Now, is 7 ohm kind of like Delta something or another?
No, it's a slight derivative of the last drug that was banned, not banned, but targeted by the DEA, and that's kratom. 7-ohm is a tiny, slight difference, microbiology wise, to kratom, and it's called 7-ohm OHM because it's so close to it. And this is now sweeping the country. This is
what was kratom?
Kratom is another slight opioid that actually grows as a plant, and it's very close to an opioid. It grows around the world, Philippines, Malaysia, Thailand, and it's been in head shops for the past 5 years or 10 years, and it's a type of opioid, a mild opioid. 7-ohm is not a mild opioid. It is as close to an opiate as you can get in a powdered form.
Great. So it is kind of like that Delta 9 or whatever the Delta was, which was THC, but one molecule.
Yeah. As I said, this is what the Chinese are doing. Their scientists are.
Delta 8. That's it.
Once caught, they will alter the molecular structure of the thing that they were caught doing and release a new product. In this case, it's 7-ohm.
Okay. Now you study this stuff. And what terrifies me is, because it's unnatural and it's chemically adjusted, could it potentially be even more harmful than the original substance it's mimicking?
Well, if the reports I heard this weekend are true from a couple people who used it, yeah. So, well, more is yet to be revealed in the 7-ohm section. I just wanted to bring it up as a word so people can get hip to it.
Well, great. Okay, well,
this is a news show, so I brought up the news.
No. But I'm just thinking about it. It's like as soon as they find that and get it listed on the schedule, they'll just come up and switch another molecule, and then we chase that for a year or two.
Kratom got altered because of that schedule of catching it, and now this.
Now is bath salts in that list too, or whatever?
It was back in the day, but now they've moved on to this 7-ohm.
Okay,
it's constantly changing.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Of course, I guess some would argue saying, well, then that's why it's pointless to, try to make things illegal because they'll just keep changing and chasing. You got to face the addiction problem.
Well, there's not enough rehabs for that type of thinking. So I think we might have to have some sort of enforcement. I know that sounds crazy to you, Murray, who's been smoking weed since 1969, this fictitious Murray. But nevertheless, there are real people in the real world who are incredibly damaged by these substances, and we have to deal with it as a society.
All right, and we got Nate the lawyer coming in with a super chat causing trouble. And what do we have here? Great show. No men and women's sports. Agree. Israel starving Palestinians in Gaza. I don't know about that.
Yeah, I saw some of the fattest. I saw some of the fattest Gazans this week on some video. And by the way, you can use Uber Eats. They will deliver to the Gaza Strip.
Wow. Let me see. Trump. Let me see. Illegal farm workers can stay. He's vacillated on that back and forth. Oh, sorry. Okay. Epstein cover up for pedophiles. And we've talked about it. We're going to talk about that a little bit later because they're going to bring people in front of the House. And let me see. Trump illegal farm workers can stay. Vacillated. As I said, Obama DOJ is a witch hunt.
It's a witch hunt if you believe Obama is a witch, which is what I do. So I believe they are hunting for a witch who may be Barack Hussein Obama.
Well, speaking of that, did you enjoy the thumbnail for today? I thought that they looked very stylish.
I haven't not seen it yet. I was busy doing stuff. But what
it was
covering this subject, right? Or
it was orange jumpsuits with Hillary and Obama and grand jury in the middle. So let's talk about it because we are looking at potentially a federal grand jury. And
this is a good one, Hunley. This is a good one.
This is from Bondi. And even Glenn Greenwald said that normally when they announce that we are running an investigation or we're putting this together and all that, he said, it's just bullshit. And they put it out there. He said, however, when they throw the words grand jury into the mix,
and a city,
that's a legitimate. Yeah, that's a legitimate thing because you've got to get citizens who have to take work off, who have to, there's actual structuring there. So there may be some teeth on this. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are that it's real because they mentioned Miami. And the reason they mentioned Miami is to get out of the clutches of Washington, D.C. And assembling a grand jury in Miami is going to be noticed by people in media. And apparently it already has. So this assembling of a grand jury in Miami is the first step to indictments. Again, you could say 6 months from now, we never assembled a grand jury, but I don't know what that gets you. I assume they're telling the truth regarding the grand jury assembly.
Yeah, and they seem to be rolling it out more and more and more.
Yeah, I think that's Comey, Clapper, and Brennan right there, the three stooges. I think that Obama's going to be an unindicted co-conspirator like Nixon was in Watergate. They'll probably just have him in there as number one or Mr. One or some other crazy crap like they did with Nixon. But, the rest of them could say they could take the Third Reich approach, which I think they're going to do, saying I was just following orders from Mr. Big, which is what I think. Apparently, everybody's lawyered up. There's no more lawyers left in D.C., according to Greg Kelly. These people have been put on retainer, not just by the three, but by others who feel that they are next in this situation, who may be called in to meet with the grand jury and may need legal advice. So the fact of the matter is, these three that we mentioned, Comey, Brennan, and Clapper, do not have pardons. They will claim that they have executive privilege, which is, I think, what their claim is going to be. And they're going to point to the guy they didn't indict, and it may be enough for it to be a wash. I really don't know what evidence they're going to present to the grand jury. The grand juries has been, as Nate would know, and probably others, it's pretty easy to indict a ham sandwich if you lay some stuff on them down in Miami, which is a reddish kind of community now. So good move for them, moving it out of New York and moving it the Southern District and moving it out of D.C. This is the first legitimate throwdown that Eric and I have seen since we started covering this story.
Yeah, the first thing from Bondi.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah.
I'll criticize her all day and probably will continue, but
this is the first legitimate thing of these. I assume it's these three. Now, Jack Smith has a separate thing, but that's something on the whatchamacallit Act, that he was political. Not the Harris Act, the whatchamacallit Act.
Hatch. No.
The Hatch Act. Yeah, they're going after him under the Hatch Act. People are just poo-pooing this thing. I saw Jonathan Turley talking about it. Nobody's ever going to get indicted for the Hatch Act, especially Jack Smith. So I don't know where the Jack Smith thing is going, but that's a separate tunnel to Jack Smith. And then you've got the situation with the House Oversight Committee, which broke today, that long list of people who are going to be subpoenaed.
Yeah, but this one's about the Epstein probe.
Right. Separate story. Completely separate story. I'm not in support of this thing. And again, it's not about the revelations, about political pragmatism. What people don't understand about this is that the Democratic members on this committee are going to ask every witness about Donald Trump's connections to Epstein. Then you're going to begin to understand what I've been saying. This thing is not a favorable. This was voted by more Democrats than Republicans on this committee, and Comer went along with it. I think there's 5 people who voted to have this thing happen. They're all going to either take executive privilege, the Fifth Amendment, or when the Democrats start questioning them, open up and say, everything I know was related to Trump and to Epstein. That's just my hint of what's going to happen and why I'm not in support of it.
And it's also a hearing. So top of the news, top of the news. Today
he has now undermined Trump, Comer, by doing this. The entire fall is now going to take the media control away from Trump. And I know there's people in MAGA who say they don't give a fuck. You're very nihilistic, very naive, and non-pragmatic. I'd love to have all the information too. However, there's a political price to pay for this information. I'm not willing to pay that political price of threatening the retention of the House and the Senate in the midterms. To tie this thing up and have all the channels every day talking about Hillary Clinton coming in and taking the fifth is going to take control of the news away from Donald Trump. I know that's difficult to understand, but this is not going to happen in a vacuum. This is going to be the main story every day. We're not going to get any information out of Bill Clinton. I think he knows how to handle this. I think Hillary Clinton knows how to handle this. They will upstage these amateur people like Luna and others who are way beneath them in terms of political skill. And this will take up the news cycle all through the fall to the frustration of Donald Trump. Think it through, people.
Well, and I'm frustrated too, because when I first saw it, I got confused and I thought, oh, they're doing what I've been crying for or saying to do for a couple of weeks now, which is
in a way they
bring
are
Russiagate in front of the House, not the Epstein files. Do the Russiagate thing there, because then you can have that be the headline every single day. And
except the
want that
Russiagate
headline.
is criminal, and they are pursuing criminal charges. This is not criminal here. This is just a showboat by Comer and by these people like Luna. Don't forget, there's a woman named Crockett on this committee, and she is not going to be quiet to cooperate when the leaders of her party are brought before her. Watch what you pray for, people. This is a recipe for disaster. But I want
That's
the
almost
files,
redundant,
Mark. I want the files. You don't understand.
No, that's redundant when you say there's this woman named Crockett who's not going to be quiet. Well, that kind of answers itself. We know that woman is not going to be quiet for anything. That's oh my God. Even Trump was talking about her earlier today.
Yeah, I don't know why she has no knee pads on. Her knees were cut out of her pants. I don't know if you saw that.
No, I missed that.
She was sitting on a stage talking about politics, like one of those TED Talks or whatever it was. And her knees had holes in the pants.
I kind of wonder if Crockett is Nate's congressperson.
Oh, outside of Houston, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know he lives in Texas now, and that could be his congressperson.
Well, the Texas, like you said, the Texas Democrats are on the run.
Yes.
There would be a great montage if somebody could make an AI of them all chained together, fleeing like something out of a Gene Wilder and Richard Pryor movie. I'd like to see them all chained together, making a run for it.
Wait, can we talk about that? Because I actually, when I saw the headline, I was like, they've done this shit before. I swear it's Texas, and they have.
Yes,
literally in 2021, I think it was when I looked it up, and then before that, in 2017,
137 days. The last one, I think they were on the lam.
And I'm just like, okay, this is ludicrous. Why is it they can
bring Ludacris into it? He's a great rapper, and Nate loves Ludacris. Go on.
Okay. Oh, this is ridiculousness. So, why in the hell are they not doing anything? Now Abbott's like threatening removing their position or whatever. I don't know if that could be. I mean, if you do not go and do your job, if your job is to, you have one job and it's to go in and vote. And it's like if you're not capable of performing your job, should you not be removed? I don't.
He would have to appoint. Thinking it through, I mean, it's just hypothetical. He would have to appoint a replacement for them. I don't think it could cross party lines in that regard. So he'd have to dig out somebody to be their replacement.
Okay.
I don't think Wheelchair Willie's going to do it. I think he's bluffing once again.
No, but if he did do that, that would be a great thing. And by the way, all he has to do is replace one of them, and the rest will come flying back. And whoa, wait, what's going on here?
Well, the reality of it is they have redistricted before using the same method, and most people predict that they will again lose this battle. It's a political stunt. They're fleeing to Pritzker's Illinois. They're fleeing to Hochul's New York. Now Newsom, of course, has threatened to gerrymander the entire state of California to offset the 5 or 6 seats that they're going to pick up in Texas. And bravo for Texas for doing this. This is the type of aggressive tit-for-tat politics I've been calling for years on this show. Texas is actually being aggressive and doing it, and may pick up 5 or 6 seats in the process of doing the redistricting. Now, keep in mind, Illinois and New York got struck down by the courts 2 years ago for trying to gerrymander in New York. Illinois has the craziest shaped gerrymandered blue districts. One of them that looks like a piece of string that goes through the entire state of Illinois, so they could just link all the black people together in Illinois through a series of towns. in a feeble attempt to do this. Now, Harmy Dillon is just about to go to the United States Supreme Court to do away with this aspect of the Civil Rights Act or the Voting Rights Act that has allowed this to take place. So that may be struck down by the Supreme Court very shortly. Dillon out here in California, which obviously is based in Washington now, but they're now saying that this is the most aggressive Republican civil rights division in American history. Which was a low bar, but
I was going to say it's very low bar. You mean, she shows up and works.
How about Bill Barr getting a subpoena? How about that mutt's going to have to show up? What's he going to squawk about his dad giving Epstein a job in that private school of northern New York?
We could spend a day talking about his dad's book.
Spend a day talking about his dad's book, but I want to mention a quorum where the Democrats tried to pull this in 1988 when Senator Byrd, Robert Byrd, not Harry Byrd, from West Virginia, he was a Senate Majority Leader and he needed a quorum. And these guys left the floor. One of the guys that left the floor was Senator Bob Packwood of Oregon. And he barricaded himself in his office, and the Capitol Hill police broke down his door with battering rams. You could look this up, folks, 1988. Keep in mind, Robert Byrd was an exalted cyclops of the Ku Klux Klan.
Yep.
Excuse me?
I said KKK, yeah.
Right. No, I'm saying he was not just a KKK member. He was an exalted cyclops. Yeah. And everyone knows how powerful an exalted cyclops is. But
to break it down, though, it wasn't the Grand Wizard, but he was pretty close, right?
But getting back to Bob Packwood, he boarded up his door like there was an active shooter in the Senate. And the Capitol Police broke down his door and carried him straight up in the air, feet first, to the floor of the Senate to form this quorum that Byrd was filibustering to create. So that's how far the Democrats will go in terms of bringing absent legislators back to their political roots. Ask Bob Packwood how it felt to be carried by Capitol Police on the orders of Robert Byrd.
Hey, Governor
the
Abbott,
exalted leader of the Cyclops.
There you go. What was it? They were talking about one thing that Abbott can do, and he has to do is he could just keep calling a quorum up, I guess, over and over, and they would be trapped and not be able to return to the state at any point, because as soon as they go to the state, they're arrested. So they have to stay out of state, away from their family, so he could keep them out of state for like months.
Well, I'm saying it happened. They were out for 137 days the last time, Eric, on their own. On their own, they stayed out for 137. Now they're living at Pritzker's house. They're living with Hochul. At some point, they're going to have to do the dishes and take out the garbage because it's going to get ugly after a few months.
Yeah, it'd be like the Ben Franklin
have to mow the lawn. Yeah, they're going to have to do some chores.
All right. Well, let me see. Somebody shared this particular tweet. Let's get into pop culture. What do teachers have to say about the world and events, and what are our kids being taught? Here we go. So we have cameras in classroom. You can get teachers like this and hear things.
I will die on this hill. I'm specifically talking about the Inca here. We're not talking about the Mexica. That's a whole separate type of sacrifice. If we're just looking at Tawantinsuyu, the Quechua people, the Incan Empire, they practiced sacrifices like most other civilizations throughout history did in times of crisis. So famine, natural disasters. But the unique thing about the Quechua is that when you're looking at like the Incan civilization, you essentially have the elites and then you have everyone else. Sacrifices were volunteers from the elite class because they believed that the elites were closer to the gods and could therefore appease them better. Also, in terms of sacrifice,
here we go.
They were kind about it. Hear me out.
They're kind about it.
Because unlike the Mexica, when you're like ripping out a still beating heart out of someone's chest, the Inca would intentionally use coca leaves. Use chicha.
Thank you.
Would drug up the sacrifice.
Wonderful. Thank
and then leave them on a mountain, a cold, chilly mountain, to be exposed to the elements.
Oh, and the birds.
If you're good.
Yeah.
A volunteer sacrifice where you're heavily drugged before you die.
Okay.
Also, I mean, I can equate human sacrifice throughout history to so many things. And I think the fact that a lot of people are commenting, oh, but the sacrifice, is again indicative of the fact that you have received a quite white education because you are
Right.
knowing them for the bad things that they have done and not all of the wonders that they accomplished. So I
Listen,
hope that
they have
this
loopholes in their history. They have loopholes in their history that they have to fill in. I'm sure this was part of her master's thesis or PhD thesis in college because she simply came up with this cockamamie idea to fill in the incredible barbarity of the Aztecs and the Incas in Peru and in Mexico regarding human sacrifice. So she came up. Now, nobody can disprove this. You can't go back in a time machine and prove how nice they were during the human sacrifice. I'm sure there were a lot of bells and whistles. I'm sure they made it look very exciting. I'm sure there were lynchings where they drank beer and celebrated lynchings in the South. Yeah. Okay. It doesn't make it any nicer for the victim to have your heart cut out on the top of a pyramid, for Christ's sakes.
Well, hold on. This was a
crazy
kinder,
batshit-
gentler. You get
It's kinder and
stoned, you
gentler.
die in the cold.
Right. They put you on a mountain on cocaine to be pecked to death by condors. It's a kinder, gentler way. In other words, there are black spots in their history, their Marxist history, where they zoom in and go, what the fuck are we going to do with this thing? This thing looks bad, Bob. Okay, there's a woman outside. She's got an answer for this entire thing. Why don't we bring her in? She's got a PhD. She's trying to get a PhD in this area. And she claims in her PhD, which has footnotes, 1,700 footnotes, claiming that there was a kinder, gentler type of human sacrifice. Bring her in, Debbie. Let's see what she says. And this dingbat will come in. They'll give her a PhD in this subject. And 5 minutes later, she's teaching at the University of Oregon this commie bullshit. This is the system that they've created, this revolving door of insanity, where there is no job for her in the real world. Her PhD is this, what she just said. That's the summation of her PhD. She may get a book out of it by University of Oregon Press, and I'm just taking Oregon. I don't know what school she went to. And then that will become the official history of the fucking Aztecs.
Okay, what do you want to bet that the word studies is in her degree?
Absolute studies. Absolute studies.
That's my thought. But okay,
right.
While
There'll be studies in there.
Hey, you know what? While we're talking about cocaine, this is a perfect segue to Hunter Biden has a new job.
Okay, I sent this Eric this morning. There's an organization here called BASTA, B-A-S-T-A. It's a Latino La Raza far left legal firm in LA that handles evictions and landlord-tenant disputes for free because they're far left and funded by people like George Soros or something. 15 years ago, or 12, 15 years ago, I used this firm in a dispute and was victorious over the people I was suing in a landlord-tenant dispute. So I almost fell off the couch when I saw that he has joined BASTA. BASTA is very small. It's about 10 gigantic, fat Latinx women. I say Latinx because these are the extreme far left La Raza, political La Raza people in LA who run this organization. I don't even think there are any men up there, but it was about 10 different women lawyers. I'll tell you this. I went to court and we're about to go into the courtroom, and it took her 5 minutes to settle the thing because there was nothing wrong with what I was doing. It took really 5 minutes in court, but I needed a lawyer to be the face of this thing. So as we're about to go into court, I gently touched her on the shoulder, like to lead her into the court, and she went, "Don't you ever touch me again!" And I almost shit my pants. This woman jumped out of her fat skin because and I'd known her for weeks and weeks. It was the craziest thing I've ever experienced. Right in the hallway of LA Superior Court, I merely touched her on the shoulder here, and she flipped out. She's screaming, "Don't ever touch me again." Welcome to your new partner, Hunter Biden. Good luck with him, honey.
Wow. Well, he might be able to touch her in nicer ways.
Yeah. Well, I don't.
Well,
think
there's I have an entire book of the niceties of Hunter Biden.
It's all in there.
And that he touches and many
Let me tell you something.
other things.
There is no way that this guy is going to fit in with that group of Latinx Che Guevaras. No freaking way. And I think somebody has given him a job, obviously in an NGO, and he's giving them free legal services. He really just needs something in name only, I think, to cover that he's got a place. It's a rundown office, like something out of a bad Private Eye film, with literally people just running around with paper and coffee cups and everything else. This is not a white shoe law firm. This is Che Guevara, and Guevara, 7 savage communists who will pick your bones clean.
Wow.
The only reason I sent it to you because I saw that Basta name. I flipped this morning.
I mean, it's good for Hunter. He's got
good for Hunter.
Work.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. It's like, how pathetic is that? Now, all right, to a serious note, hate having in memoriam, but Lonnie Anderson did pass away.
Oh my God, this poor woman. She was so great. She was a sweetheart, married to Burt Reynolds, obviously KRP Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Just a great comic actress, way ahead of the credits that get. I mean, they looked at her like this pinup Marilyn Monroe type, but she was such a great comic actress that she used it to great effect in KRP Cincinnati, and also with Burt Reynolds as one of his wives.
Yeah. I mean, gorgeous, but smart
and funny,
talented,
very funny.
Absolutely. But I definitely wanted to, shout her out. 79 isn't terrible.
By the way, Ozzy, cause of death was a heart attack, they said this morning.
Okay. I mean,
I'm saying that because he had chronic heart disease from smoking and doing other stuff. So he could have kept shaking with Parkinson's for years.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Parkinson's is degrading, but usually it is a secondary disease that will get you.
Yes.
Anyway, and on that note, there was a rumor going around that his death was intentional, and no, I want to settle it because there was another story that came out recently. I believe I shared it, but they had rescue people on site for like 2 hours trying to, revive him. He had just moved to England, and apparently they had built out like an entire wing of this giant estate he had with a swimming pool and medical facilities and whatever else. So they were trying to treat his condition, as obviously
he would have needed a heart transplant at that point. You know what I mean? Yeah. My friend just got back from Dublin yesterday. Yesterday. And he was staying in a hotel that was near all the embassies. So he walks by the U.S. embassy because he's jogging and stuff. And there's a group protesting, Palestinians, but it's old Irish people. And they're protesting at the U.S. embassy. And he goes up and he knows what it's about because he's like me. And he says, "What is this all about?" And they go, "It's about the genocide in Israel." And they go, and they said, "Do you know about it?" He goes, "No, I don't know. Tell me about it." So she says, "Well, that's all we know. We don't really know that much. Genocide in Israel." And he says, "Are you getting paid to do this?" She says, "Yeah." And he says, "How much?" She says, $15 an hour. And she says, "Do you want me to give you the number?" And he says, "No." And she says, "Well, I could call them for you." And he goes, "Okay." She says, "What would you like me to tell them when I call for you?" And he says, "Tell them to go fuck themselves." And he keeps jogging through the crowd.
It's amazing.
It's 15 an hour in Dublin if you're looking for work outside the U.S. Embassy. Again, this was older Irish people who are retired chanting death to the Jews.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
All right. Well, back to Lonnie Anderson a little bit. I think it's a good segue to talk about I feel almost a modern version where Sydney Sweeney taking a lot of headlines, and Donald Trump has gotten on board.
Thank God.
Has dubbed her his queen.
I love that.
His anti-woke queen. I don't know if you saw his truth.
I did not.
You have to kind of laugh. This is the president of the United States who's writing these truths.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
He's like, Sydney Sweeney, a registered Republican, has the hottest ad out there. It's for American Eagle, and the jeans are flying off the shelves. Go get them, Sydney. On the other side of the ledger, Jaguar did a stupid and seriously woke advertisement. That is a total disaster. The CEO just resigned in disgrace, and the company is in absolute turmoil. Who wants to buy a Jaguar after looking at the disgraceful ad? I got to interject, though. There is mitigating factor. Everybody's talking about that woke ad caused Jaguar to sell no cars, but Jaguar had frozen all production because they're switching to electric cars. So it's not quite the same thing, even though I think the ad did harm them.
Okay.
Shouldn't they have learned a lesson from Bud Light, which went woke and essentially destroyed in a short campaign the company?
Yeah.
The market cap destruction has been unprecedented, with billions of dollars so foolishly lost. I love this. Or just look at woke singer Taylor Swift. Ever since I alerted the world as to what she was by saying on Truth that I can't stand her hate, she was booed out of the Super Bowl and became no longer hot. The tide has seriously turned. Being woke is for losers. Being Republican is what you want to be. And
thank you for your attention to this matter.
Thank you for your attention to this matter.
Well, look, she is super hot, and
hello.
She's a good shot, from what I understand.
Oh,
with a
yeah. Did you
handgun,
see that?
and she knows how to fix a transmission. I mean, what could possibly be the downside of this chick?
Yeah, no, I agree. And here's Donald talking about her here.
Sydney Sweeney, it came out this weekend that she was a registered Republican. Any thoughts on that?
That who was?
Sydney Sweeney. She's like a very hot actress right now.
She's a registered Republican? Yes. Oh, now I love her ad. Is that right? Is Sydney Sweeney? You'd be surprised at how many people are Republicans. That's what I wouldn't have known.
75 million.
I'm glad you told me that. If Sydney Sweeney is a registered Republican, I think her ad is fantastic. Okay, thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you. You got to give it to this guy. I mean, it's just insane. The gift that keeps on giving.
Oh my God, that is just too funny, though. Really.
Well, by the way, I heard yesterday that Musk is continuing to donate millions of dollars to the Trump campaign quietly. That was a little factoid that came out yesterday, that they have, while publicly not engaging, privately, he's backing a lot of Trump policies with millions of dollars.
Okay.
I don't know if that includes the new insane NASA program of putting a nuclear reactor on the moon that was revealed in a press release by NASA yesterday. Everyone who's in favor of a nuclear reactor on the moon, say yes in the chat, or no in the chat, or in the comments down below. All I know is NASA is exploring putting a nuclear reactor on the moon. Now, it can't hurt anybody. Well, I don't know. It's a revolutionary idea. I'm not throwing it out at all. I'm just saying it came out of left field from the Trump administration director at NASA, that they're looking to put nuclear reactors up there.
Yeah, I mean, a nuclear reactor, I don't know if they ultimately want to do some kind of a biodome or something. Or
I don't know about a biodome, but I mean, you talk about thinking outside the box. The only thing Obama was doing was trying to have affirmative action at NASA. And I think he put in a relative of the Bolden family in there as the head. And everyone complained that they racialized NASA when this African-American guy was put in charge. And I remember reading, somehow somebody got inside the chat of NASA scientists talking about what had happened to NASA when they put this black guy in charge, and how incredulous they were of these political leftist things that they were proposing, which was early DEI, early affirmative action for NASA. That guy's long gone, and this is a new NASA now looking to put nuclear reactors on the moon.
Well, I mean, the chat seems to be very mixed on that one. I'm wondering, like, if NASA doesn't, if private industry wants to put it on the moon, I'm perfectly fine with that.
Again, that's not one of the options here. It is merely, I know you're saying that, but that's not what the program's calling for. This is, and it could, maybe Musk is involved. I don't really know.
No, but what I'm saying is that how can you, this is an interesting question. How can you control it? Let's say Elon Musk says, I want to put a nuclear reactor on the moon. Well, who owns the moon? It's kind of like the ocean.
We put a flag up there, didn't we?
We put a flag there. So what? But we don't own it.
Usually in the old days, like Columbus came, put a flag, and isn't that the old school way that it's yours?
The whole damn planet?
What did Admiral Byrd do? What did Commodore Perry do for the Antarctic and the Arctic?
Well, Antarctica is not owned by a country.
Didn't he put a flag down there?
There's many flags down there, but it's not
now. But isn't the first flag the one that owns the country?
There people try to claim that.
Come on.
Well, here's the fact: Antarctica is not owned by anyone.
Again, when Columbus got here, or when Vasco da Gama got here, or when any of the Fountain of Youth guy got here, don't you put a flag in Florida and say, "I conquer this for the nation and Queen Isabella of Spain"?
Yeah, as long as
what do you do? File a contract somewhere back then?
Yeah, or you go ahead and you do in the Roanoke and you get your asses kicked and absolved by the people, and no flag there.
Okay, so how does Spain end up with Louisiana?
Well, it was France.
French. How did they? Didn't the French sell the Louisiana Purchase to us when Napoleon needed money for his army or something?
Sure.
And he sold. But I'm saying originally, how did they get these places?
I think that they went
put a flag there. They shoved a flag in the ground. That's why we own the fucking moon, Hunley. We put a flag in the moon. There's no other flags on the moon. It's our moon.
We have half the people say that we never landed, so you don't even have.
Oh, in this chat, yeah, they don't even know we landed. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I just wanted to put that out there because there's going to be disputes over the moon. Where are you going to go to the International Court in The Hague, or are you going to go to Jupiter to settle this?
I mean,
believe me, if Musk gets to Mars, he's not giving it to the Chinese.
No.
Right. So there you go.
Fair enough. And while we're talking about crazy ass ideas, here is a you're talking about the moon, the night sky, crazy ideas. How about a bat flying into a tourist
Can you
mouth?
explain this to me, please?
No.
I read this story a couple of days ago. I still don't understand what I read. These bats flew into a woman's mouth and got entangled in her mouth, and apparently it's not covered by her insurance. Bat in the mouth disease. There was a 30-day waiting period. Some other bubamyces. In 2019, a 21-year-old man got a bat in the mouth. Is this an epidemic?
How big are their mouths?
Of the women or the bat?
Well, no. The bats have to be pretty damn small, or their mouths have to be pretty large. Because
but the
how
mouth
do they get in there?
It's the mouth of the woman that the bat flew into.
I agree, and I'm like, how in the hell? I mean,
dude,
it's not pleasant, but almost all of us have probably had a fly good in our mouth or something like that.
Exactly.
But a bat.
Again, I think it was like a bunch of bats like coming at her, and she was photographing the bats, and they just overwhelmed her. Like a flock of bats. I don't know what that's called. A bunch of bats. Could be a flock of bats, let's say. And she just, they said, it got in her mouth and it got all around her.
Rabies of bats?
What's that?
A rabies of bats?
No, but they had to check her for rabies because the bats have rabies and they got into her mouth. So again, this is one of these, and the reason I sent it to you was because it was Northern Arizona. I thought you'd like that.
Okay. Oh, it's a cauldron of bats.
A cauldron? Dude, I would never have gotten that on Jeopardy in a million years.
Well, dude, I mean, they have
cauldron of bats. Wow.
That's a fun thing to do. Look up the whole,
a
murder of crows, a question of ravens, or they have all these crazy names. I'm like, who came up with this shit?
Just crazy people. I think people at a university.
Probably.
Speaking of which, I think Harvard is going to court over the couldn't reach a settlement. The other universities are reaching settlements with Harmy Dillon and the Civil Rights Division. Harvard fighting to the death, Eric, claiming they want to go to court, and they're quite willing to oblige them.
I mean, Harvard has the means to do it over everybody, which it is a factor.
I don't know what happened in this lawsuit, but Nunez sued Rachel Maddow, and it was thrown out of court before it was allowed in. I don't know this. It must have been something she said about Nunez being a pedo or something. Apparently, anything that Rachel Maddow says is not actionable in a court run by the left.
Or any of them, because honestly, Maddow and Tucker both, it's so perfect because they're opposite, sides of the same coin. Both of them had a ruling on their behalf that
Yeah.
was essentially nobody can believe what they're saying anyway. They're commentators, because remember, Rachel Maddow was sued for saying literally this happened. And it got turned into, well, with Rachel Maddow, literally means figuratively.
Non-literally.
Right.
Yeah, literally means figuratively. Yeah.
Yes, it's literally figuratively. It's a very confusing thing.
I was literally graped by Donald Trump. Now you have to pay me $60 billion. My name is E. Carroll, and I approve this ad.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I kind of wonder if that's going to ultimately be Candace Owens' defense.
I think it will be. Why not? She'll probably get the same attorneys. If I was Candace Owen, I'd get the Rachel Maddow lawyers immediately. Just say,
she's got the Dominion lawyers going against her. Remember, the Dominion lawyers are the ones who got Tucker thrown off of Fox. So there could be a little bit of a fight there.
Similar to the Colbert case, because it had nothing to do with the voting machines. It was just a sidebar political thing that they wanted to settle with Fox, proving that the thing was political and not about defamation. And I'd also like free spaghetti on Wednesday as part of that lawsuit. I mean, what does that have to do with the price of voting machines?
Totally agree. Now, on a serious front, I am happy to see this. I think this is more important than people realize. And it's focused on conservatives now, but the truth is that I think it applies to everybody, and that's Trump going after the banks.
Ooh,
and
I like that.
This is really important.
Got to figure that out.
The Wall Street Journal is reporting that you're prepping an order that they say would punish banks that discriminate against conservatives, including potentially Bank of America. I'm going to be actually talking to Brian Moynihan here later today.
What's
Can
so
you tell
funny
us about that executive order? What's in that? And what do you think the banks have done?
What do we think they've done?
I had J.P. Morgan Chase. I had hundreds of millions of dollars in cash. I could see if they want to, if they want to do something bad because you don't have any money and you defaulted and they took people out. But I'll give you me as an example. I had hundreds of millions. I had many accounts loaded up with cash. I was loaded up with cash, and they told me, "I'm sorry, sir, we can't have you. You have 20 days to get out." I said, "You got to be kidding. I've been with you for 35, 40 years." They said, and I mean, I had all this. I didn't know what to do with it. And I went to...
If I could just interrupt for a second, I don't think that's the best example of this, using himself. There are plenty of other people who were...
100%, sure.
Right. I just don't think this helps his cause by using himself. It's all true what he said, but there were plenty of normal conservatives who had their accounts shut, and I wish he would mention a couple of them who had their lives destroyed instead of him mentioning himself.
I'm okay with him saying himself.
Yeah, I
would
know.
like him to say others as well, and it's the
I
first
know.
thing that comes to his mind.
Yeah.
Especially because, think about it, he's just doing the same argument like with Twitter.
Yeah.
If the guy who is the president of the United States can have it taken away,
right.
every
I
conservative can have it taken away.
I understand, but if he had listed the names of normal people, they couldn't deny that these normal people were boxed out by these financial institutions. With him, they're going to say, of course, everybody hates Trump. Of course, they didn't want him in the thing. If you list the regular people who had this happen, I think it's more powerful. That's all.
I think he should list leftists as well. And this is where
there
I
might
am
be a
on
couple
this
in
whole-
there. I don't know who they are.
Well, I'm pretty sure there are, because there are
Really?
some very strong anti-war people who are
Is that true?
loudmouths.
Is
who
that true?
Probably got. Yeah, I mean, there are leftists on the no-fly list and things like that.
No, but I'm talking about
Sure.
the banking thing.
I think that there have been a couple. I don't know for sure.
Do you
but
know them off the top of your head?
I don't know them off the top of my head. That's why
Does
I'm saying
anybody
I
in the
think
chat
they're
know them?
qualified.
What Hunley's talking about here? Does
Right.
anybody know any lefty commie? I know you're right. I've heard about it, but I don't know any names. I've heard about it.
Regardless, so there are certain things that I feel should not be touched. You don't shut electricity off on people's houses over their politics. I don't care who they are, what they are.
Wait, does
It's
that
not-
happen
no,
also?
It's an example. That's a utility. I think banks
Wait,
are
wait,
in the same.
but that-
I personally
okay.
feel that the banks are in the same
Oh no,
place
I agree.
in my thoughts
course, but
as
I'm saying-
electricity or water or the other.
Oh no,
That's all.
without a doubt. But this guy this smarmy cat was acting as if nobody
Because
nobody
they
kno-
agree.
Excuse me?
Because he agreed with it. That's Mark Halpern did a good job going off on it this morning. He was actually talking about it, saying, why is this not being reported by the New York Times? Why is it not reported by, and Sean Spicer said, he goes, well, the truth is because they agree with it.
That's fine.
They're happy about
I'm
it.
saying if you give 5 mega examples of people who had this happen, we all know it happened because we were following it in real time of people this happened to. I appreciate that it happened to Trump, which is a great part of the situation, but they're going to spin it as revenge by Trump against the banks is my point.
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
Yep. I mean, maybe so.
It
Well,
could
Mark
be avoided.
Andreessen
It could
was
be avoided.
debanked. He
Who?
was quasi left. Mark Andreessen, but I guess he's
Okay.
not fully left wing.
No,
Anyway,
I'm sure there's some out there, but I'm saying we have plenty on the right who
Well,
had their
yeah.
lives destroyed by these banks.
right. My thing is that I don't care where they are. I don't think anybody should have their lives destroyed by being
I think
debanked.
we all agree on that. I think we all agree. Yeah. The electricity
Yeah.
thing, I don't know if that's happening, but I wouldn't put it past them.
Well, it's an analogy.
But it may not be an analogy. You may be stumbled
I
onto
hope
it.
not. Yeah, I hope not.
I wouldn't be surprised if it happened.
Yeah, I mean that's
By the way,
crazy.
General Pike's statue is being restored in D.C. The former Confederate general whose statue was ripped off, I think his name is Albert Pike. My Southern friends may know his first name. I think it's Albert Pike. His statue was taken down during the George Floyd riots in D.C., I think in 2021 or 22. And now the Trump administration has agreed to restore the statue in the D.C. park, by the way. Symbolic? Yes, but also pushing back, Eric.
Well, Fort Bragg is Fort Bragg again.
Right, but these are statues that we were always wondering what would happen. Remember, some cities put them in storage and saved
I
them.
know.
Yeah, and some people just said, they're Confederate generals. Why are you supporting racism?
Right, no, I agree, but that's why I mentioned that Fort Bragg is Fort Bragg again, as a Southern general. They're renaming the bases because of Southern generals. I would like to see Monument Row be restored in Richmond. Right now, they used to have this amazing parts like Monument Drive or whatever, where you're driving along. It's like all these statues, beautiful. I think it's maple trees, but anyways, just really a gorgeous view. Only statue left is Albert Ashe.
I don't know
It's
who
like
Albert Ashe is, but I'm sure he was a Union
he's
general.
a tennis player. Black
Arthur
tennis player.
Ashe, you're talking about, died of AIDS.
Yeah. Is that what?
You said Albert Ashe. Arthur Ashe, a very famous.
I'm known for my my in-depth sports, knowledge.
No.
Obviously,
I'm assuming it's Arthur Ashe. Who,
it is.
Yeah.
I got confused on that, but anyway, yeah, that's the only one there, and I don't like.
I
the
think you're going to
statues
see
being taken.
restoration begin to happen with these statues around the country.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so. And by the way, I don't mind if we put up other statues, like rather than tear down statues that you don't like. If you want to have a counter programming message, put up another statue next to them and say, "Oh, you know what? Here's the other side." It'd be like have a statue of Custer. How about a statue of Indian? There you go. We can have both stories, but don't tear down history. Just you say, "Oh, I don't want to talk about that anymore. I don't like them. They offend me." But speaking of people who are offended. Interesting situation. Ghislaine Maxwell has a new location, new home. She's been moved.
Yeah.
Well, she has a new friend.
Oh.
Elizabeth
Back in the
Holmes.
joy, I go here. Oh my God. Maybe they'll work together someday.
Yeah.
Oh my, I forgot what happened to her. This is the Theranos,
Theranos,
corporate head who created this instant blood machine for Rite Aid and CVS pharmacies that could diagnose your blood. Elizabeth Holmes was sentenced to prison while pregnant, I believe, and gave birth in prison, if I remember correctly.
I thought she gave birth and then they put her in, but
somewhere along the line where she was going in, though, right?
Yeah. Well, her stuff took forever. It was like I think it took a couple trials, and she made sure she got pregnant like as frequently as she could with doing it. Not necessarily a dumb move. Like, I don't know if you remember, there were the female pirates back in the 1700s.
What did they do?
Well, everything that the male pirates did, murdering, all that good stuff. Only they were smart enough to get pregnant, and all the males hung, and the female pirates, they walked on to raise their children.
Interesting.
So
wow.
There is a strategy involved.
Wow, I didn't see that coming among the pirates.
Hey, you know what? Female pirates can get pregnant
I didn't
too.
even know there were female pirates.
There were.
I think there's going to be a new Johnny Depp movie coming out about the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, really?
They're
Is he
working
going to
on
be in it? Because
Oh yeah, no, he's in it. Yeah.
All right. Well,
He needs
I
the
forgot.
money. He needs the money.
Well, he's in something right now. I don't even remember though, other than ads. Who knows? I saw this article. We talk about Hollywood here and there or whatever, and I just thought this was kind of interesting. But a child star from the original Willy Wonka film reveals he still gets residuals from the movie.
Okay.
And he's earning $8 to $9 every 3 months.
That makes sense. I get checks too, like weird little checks. It's just a computer thing. I mean, it's
He was Charlie. So Charlie Bucket.
wow, it's not much.
No, it is not much, but he did get his golden ticket via
Look at that.
$9 a month, I
Yeah.
guess.
I don't know what kind of deal he had, but that sounds very low.
Well, it was 1971, and I don't think they were really doing a lot for residuals back then.
It might have been
That has gotten better.
before a particular contract was signed with SAG or something.
It could be. I just thought that was
Yeah,
kind of a.
that's kind of sad.
I guess. I mean, I don't know. I'm hoping all is well for him and whatever. Okay, I saw this article, and I want to support organ donation, etc.
There we go.
However,
Oh, boy.
when you are seeing more and more doctors trying to say we need to redefine what dead is and what brain dead is.
This made the news here too. Yeah.
Let's open the definition a little bit more. Like, you know what? The quality of life is just not going to be there, and that's a really nice looking liver they have,
Yeah.
And we could do something nifty with that liver. I'm sorry, and there has been case after case after case now of it's a car accident, and they were on a motorcycle, a little bit of
they're
hair,
literally.
dude. I don't know if I like them.
If you've got that donor card, that's like a golden ticket to the doctors to pull the plug on you very quickly and preserve your organs. And you, especially as a lot of these are coming out of New Mexico, where they're far from dead yet, but they sort of nudge you into death and then take your organs. Again, they're predicting that you're going to die. But you're still alive.
Well, here's the headline. I mean, here's the sub headline. People across the United States have endured rushed or premature events to attempts to remove their organs. Some were gasping, crying, or showing other signs of life.
Oh, it's called murder. I mean, I don't know how you spit it. That's called murder.
But what I can't help it is like, what about isn't it Hippocratic Oath? I mean, is it first do no harm? I mean, I thought the whole principle is the doctor's all about saving lives, not selecting, saving.
Well, we saw this in Planned Parenthood when those films were made showing how they were selling the body parts of the fetuses. This is an extension. They get you coming and going, these leftists. You're leaving the earth when you're coming into the earth. That's when there's nobody protecting them. There's nobody protecting people going out. There's nobody protecting people coming in. That guy who made those films of the Planned Parenthood luncheons that he had.
Did he get locked up?
By Attorney General Kamala Harris, who raided his house with police and treated him like he was a murderer. And he was his crime was he used a phony driver's license to get into Planned Parenthood to do his undercover filming. I mean, it's one of the most egregious things I've ever seen out here. How they went after this guy, I forget his name, unfortunately, right now, who made those videos. Super courageous, super moved.
David?
Yes. Thank you,
Layden?
Isabel. Thank you. And his life was turned into a living hell by Kamala Harris, who received some of the largest donations in Planned Parenthood history to run for president.
No, I'm sure she got awards by them too, and everything else. Like, as a matter of fact, is it Megyn Kelly was talking about that Kamala Harris is so dumb and so idiotic in speaking that the only time you see her perk up, she doesn't go click off, is if it's something talking about herself or abortion. It's like she gets
the body
excited.
language changes.
No, it's like she gets engaged. Like she can actually
right.
start talking. It's like, oh, killing babies. Yes, I can do that.
I'm
Let's
into
talk
that.
about
That's
that.
my main thing. Does she have any babies? She doesn't have any babies, does she?
No, and her stepchild is
Right. She has the stepchild with the husband.
Yeah, right. Who I believe is a non-binary type or just weird.
The child, not the husband.
I don't want to rule it out.
The husband?
I don't know. Well, no, you're right.
The
No,
husband has been cited for smacking.
No,
his
yeah, that's true.
girlfriends
That's true.
around.
He brings out the toxic masculinity.
Right.
That
He's
obviously
toxically
she's so against.
masculine, and she is she, her, he, him, whatever that thing is. The daughter, the stepdaughter.
Fair enough. By the way, though, unfortunately, the dark stuff isn't limited to humans and doctors. We have, this headline's going to blow your mind. A zoo in Denmark is asking visitors,
oh dear God,
if you want to donate.
Oh my God,
pets
this is
food
ridiculous.
For the tigers.
What?
Yeah, you've got
you just fling your cats over into the cage or your dog.
It could
You
be
just
guinea
fling
pigs,
'em?
rabbits, chickens. These are all an important part of the diet. And, if you need to rehome them or you just don't know what to do, they will take them. I'm like,
I
this
once
is
went
the sickest thing.
Once went to the Tijuana Zoo with a cab driver. It took me around with this girl to show us the zoo. And inside the cages were no animals. And he said, that used to be a tiger. He said, that used to be a giraffe. And it were just empty cages or emaciated animals that were clinging to life. And it was the most disgusting zoo I've ever been to in my life. Tijuana.
Okay, and chat, cool it down. Do not donate your neighbor's pets.
Oh,
that is not
weird.
cool.
Yeah.
That is unacceptable. Oh God, somebody said Joe Exotic is the director of that zoo.
That's funny.
That's very possible. That's very possible. Oh my God, that is horrible. All right. Well, speaking of horrible, since we've got the we were already talking about drugs. It appears that Boston, you've got San Francisco where they had like the poop maps and stuff.
Yeah.
Boston, now the glitziest neighborhoods overrun with drug addicts after the mayor gave the addicts free crack pipes.
It always helps. Let's face it. It always helps. If you could give them the drugs, the crack pipe, and the lighters, you hit the trifecta. It's a great society helping them under this phony thing, enabling them, or clean needles, or whatever your crazy Marxist program is. This is always the result of that program.
What a beautiful picture.
But that's the result of that particular program. They have it up in San Francisco. They have it in Portland. They have it in other places. And the result is always the same. The fact that they can't figure this out, that this is, talk about the Hippocratic Oath. This is doing harm, that they can't figure out how this creates harm is bizarre. Either they know it and they don't give a fuck, or they know it and they want the money to flow into these NGOs. But the idea that they don't know seems to me to be totally bizarre.
I agree. And that's one of those where I'm kind of going, if something defies all logic in what they do, there's a reason they're doing it. We just don't understand it.
Yeah.
But when you look at that, I'm kind of going, is that not the same thing as dropping Planned Parenthoods in black neighborhoods?
Oh, but it's also men can have.
intention.
It's also men can have babies. It's an extension of changing the rules, the actual order of nature, for their own Marxist purposes. They do not believe in addiction. They do not believe it's a lifelong chronic illness, as the National Institutes of Health and every doctor on the earth believes. They believe it could be cured by therapy. So their first line of defense is to give you a free apartment. If that's not insane, I don't know what insane is.
Right. I'm kind of thinking that maybe they want them to die.
Well, that's their bread and butter, so they don't want them to die. In fact, Trump's executive order allowing forcible removal of the homeless from the streets has ignited a firestorm here because they want to protect their homeless to be their crippled, enabled pets. and not have Trump take them away from the streets of LA. That would shut down the NGOs.
Oh, that's true. They need to have their pets for sure. But I don't know. It is a saying. Now, I don't know if you saw this. This is actually a Daily Plus article or whatever, but remember how you were talking about everybody, they've got to have one thing in order to get the book deal. And,
yeah.
Okay, well, we've got another case of it, and sadly, it's somebody who I think was a hero once, but Thomas Noguchi.
Oh, yeah.
There's a new book coming out, and he's using the Maryland Monroe autopsy. And according to him, they did not allow him to test the organs after he had made the determination. So that's the one, bit to
whatever,
to
bro.
sell the book. Now, the one thing he did point out that I think is a legitimate question, that why did a junior medical examiner do that when, typically when you're talking about a big name celebrity or whatever, shouldn't it have been the head medical examiner?
I don't know. In his memoir, he has an entire chapter on his autopsy of Marilyn Monroe in his own book, his original memoir from the 80s, which I have here. So I don't know what he's doing here. Maybe trying to sell another book by saying something like you said about an inappropriate autopsy. But in his own memoir, he's got John Belushi, he's got Marilyn Monroe, he's got RFK, he's got all the famous autopsies he's done, bragging about how good they were.
Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah, but he is selling on here that he said it was a routine self-inflicted death, and the head toxicologist Raymond Abernathy, after finding fatal levels of phenobarbital and chlorohydrate, decided it was pointless to run additional tests on the stomach and other organs.
Okay.
A wave of anxiety washed over Noguchi.
Oh, give me a break.
He knew that not running the additional tests would become a problem for him. It left too many questions unanswered, and ultimately, as the pathologist who conducted the physical autopsy, he would be held responsible. But as one of the newest members of the team, he felt powerless to challenge Abernathy, so he did nothing. So that's the book sale, I think.
Yeah, that's the sale of the book. Yeah, that's his selling the book.
So
look, I don't begrudge the guy. I mean, he's
98.
Yeah, and this is for his kids. That's what I was talking about with the Secret Service guy. This is for his grandchildren. These are the kinds of books that they get book deals as they're leaving the earth, and they need something to make the deal work. Some new, either made up thing or brand new thing or both, because that's what a publisher wants. Why is your book different from all the other books on Marilyn Monroe? And he either made it up, exaggerated it, or it's brand new.
Yeah,
I don't think it changes the suicide that she took all the pills and killed herself. I mean, there were numerous other attempts by her. She was nodding out in public from taking Nebutol and alcohol together. I know people don't want to hear that and think she was murdered, but this is just my opinion for what it's worth. I think she committed suicide.
You're right. She self-deleted. Anyway, and by the way, if you guys are interested in it, because Mark Shaw is the guy who's peddling the whole Marilyn Monroe story. There is somebody on Jimmy DiEugenio sites, Kennedy's and King's, who did a review of Mark Shaw's book, and this person's like a Marilyn Monroe specialist.
I read that. That was great.
Shredded.
That guy's very sharp. Yeah, Marilyn Monroe. I forgot the guy's name, but he on Kennedy and King, the website run by Jim DiEugenio. There's a great book review of that book by Mark Shaw. I forgot about that.
And he points out how Mark Shaw manipulated the picture, where they said, "Look, how did she take the pills? There's no water." And he said, "But when you look at the full picture, down to the floor, sure as shit, there's a glass of water down there."
I remember that. Yeah,
really well done. And he was also talking about Kilgallen in that mix too.
People do self-delete. I know this sounds incredible, but they do self-delete.
Yeah, or accidentally OD.
Yeah. Well, she took the whole bottle. I mean,
I just saw a video.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay. Little pieces of amusement because I have to.
Okay.
There's nothing more fun than, Sydney Sweeney. I think you and I agree that she is a bit of a specimen. Very attractive individual.
Right.
And
wait, we're going back to this again? This story?
It's because I had it queued up.
Okay.
Anyway, it's just it's fun to see people coping. And here's somebody who's saying that they're not. She's not jealous of Sydney Sweeney.
Okay.
Obviously.
All right.
I just saw a video that apparently Republicans think that the people who are criticizing Sydney Sweeney's American Eagle jeans ad, we're all just jealous of her. And I just have to say, from my point of view, I am not jealous of Sydney Sweeney.
Okay.
I don't have to be famous, and I don't have to peddle brands that are awful. Like, they're bad taste, like not cute at all. And I get to do that from the comfort of like my beautiful front porch drinking my matcha this morning. And I get to wake up every day being me. And I like me.
That's one of us.
God, what I mean, what's wrong with the jeans? She's saying that she doesn't have to peddle those jeans. Like, is there something wrong with the actual jeans? I mean, I don't understand.
No, I mean, that's the funny part is they just say stuff like, oh, it's problematic. Well, how's it problematic? Well, everybody knows. I love that. Everybody knows that. That's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
And down the line. Okay, let me see here. Have you seen the Jim Acosta interview? Okay, this is just.
What is he, like a podcast guy now?
Well, he's always going to be a loser, but he did an interview with an AI generated avatar of a Parkland victim.
Oh my God, what the fuck?
This is okay. Javier Joaquin Olivier. Here we go.
All right. If you want to share anything or have questions, I'm all ears. Just let me know.
Joaquin, it's Jim Acosta. I was wondering if you could tell me what happened to you.
I appreciate your curiosity. I was taken from this world too soon due to gun violence while at school.
Oh
it's
my
important
God.
to talk about
That's
these
so
issues so we can
sick,
create
Eric.
a safer future for everyone. What would you like to know
What
more
the
about?
Fuck?
Joaquin, I would like to know what your solution would be for gun violence.
Great question. I believe in a mix of stronger gun control laws, mental health support, and community engagement. We need to create safe spaces for conversations and connections, making sure everyone feels seen and heard. It's about building a culture of kindness and understanding. What do you think about that?
I think it's creepy as
It's the creepiest thing I've seen in weeks. I mean, holy shit.
I didn't know if you had seen that. Now,
No, I never want to see it again. I can't unsee it.
Well,
How do I unsee this fucking thing?
Well, the weird part about it is this is not the only time we've seen AI use it. There was a, and I don't know if I disagree with the usage or not, but a victim impact statement from a deceased AI representation.
Oh,
So
dear God. Oh,
somebody got, killed in like a vehicular homicide type of situation.
You gotta be kidding.
They generated them
The court
to
allowed
speak
that,
at the
Eric?
sentence. Yes, the judge allowed that.
For the love of God, that's ridiculous.
And I'm like, this is going too far. This is
Way
beyond the
too
pale,
far,
in
bro.
my opinion.
Way too far.
And
Now, I don't mind the Gibbs bringing back Maurice and his other uncle for the concert.
Sure.
No, that at the Hollywood
Celebrate or
Bowl.
sing or-
Yeah, that at the Hollywood Bowl. I mean, that was kind of fun, but his legal thing is crazy.
Yeah, or the Hall of Presidents, like having George Washington teaching in his own voice of, well, I thought this,
Yeah,
that
that's
kind of
fun.
thing.
That's fun.
Oh, you know what? There's a good one too. I'd love to check it out. I don't know who lives in Florida, but apparently Salvador Dali, they have an AI fully, set up Salvador Dali where people pick up a phone
It could
and
be
talk
good.
to Dali asking questions
It
because
could be
there
a
was so
good
much
way
footage.
to create a museum, like where you go into
Right,
a
it's part of his
it'd be a
museum.
fantastic museum idea. You know, where you could have a AI version of the person or the exhibit of the museum that you're trying to, or even with animals or dinosaurs.
I agree.
I
Yeah.
mean, somebody's going to do it. It's a great idea.
Right. Or, you could have like, Lee Harvey Oswald speaking as himself doing lines.
Or Christian Noah's Ark.
True.
Yeah.
True. But,
or heaven. What about heaven?
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let me see. All right. What do we have here? You know what? We should go through some super chats. That's always fun.
All right. Part A.
All right. Pamela
Part
Clifton, with happy Tuesday, guys. Happy Tuesday, Pamela. Great to hear from you as always. Thank you so much. And you actually were the first one to send something in. I just happened to see Nate's go by where he was poking at us, and he claimed that was his prediction for what the show was going to be.
Oh, our show? Was it? Is he right?
We discussed all the things to a degree, but
they were in the news this week.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Anthony Madison with Australia, $5. Trump's fault. Okay. According to many, most things are Trump's fault. Mike Schaefer saying, Mark, what's the deal with the Chinese Zetzines? Not good to kill your customers. What is he talking about?
I don't know. Zetzines.
I don't even know what a Zetzine is.
I don't know. Mike Schaefer, you got to report back to us for $9.99.
Yeah.
What's a Zetzine?
I don't know what a Zetzine is.
I'm sorry. Help me.
Here's more trouble from Nate. Let me see. The statute of limitations have run on the crimes for Obama and all. This is just a dog and pony show to keep the base confused.
Well,
not for Brennan and Clapper. Not for Brennan and Clapper, because they have testified since then.
Yeah.
And within the statute of limitations. So
so we don't know. This is new territory.
And by the way, I will be okay if Brennan and Clapper, even if they're the only ones, it's still to see a couple examples. And those of you who are saying, "Oh, it can't happen." Well, what happened with the Watergate burglars?
Yeah,
what happened with John Dean?
Of course,
if there was that whole thing with Watergate, and they did
Clapper,
go to prison.
Clapper may flip. One of them may flip.
So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, Texas Tom Woolley. Thanks. The pressure worked. My brother is going to the Dallas JFK Lancer.
That's beautiful.
Be a blast.
Yeah. Speaking of the thing, maybe we should tell people what Woolley's talking about. First of all, his brother is the chiropractor to the stars, like in San Clemente, I think, or somewhere south of the beach community down there. But we're going to be in Dallas, Texas today, which will be November 22nd, whatever that weekend is, Eric, right?
Right, I think
Friday.
I don't know the 22nd. I think the 22nd is on a Saturday instead of the Friday, but it was something like that.
So we'll be there the 21st through the 23rd at this mega event of all the All-Stars. Look at that list. It's getting bigger and bigger. Look at that list.
Yeah, it is.
Oh my God. Bill Simpic, who was referred to, we mentioned, we heard from him from the attorney last week, who was a guest on the show. Larry Hancock, Robert Groden. Look at all these guys. Brent Holland. Wow, this is like an all-star list of people you can actually talk to about your own cockamamie theories. These people are quite willing. I don't know where they get the strength, but these people are quite willing to talk to ticket holders about anything regarding JFK. I mean, just bring your theory and take it with you. Bring in your photos. Tell us your story of your uncle who once knew a guy who knew E. Howard Hunt's mother. Whatever you got, I would bring it to Dallas, because these people are quite open-doored to people reception-wise, talking to them about their own situations.
Yeah, good.
I mean, it's like a big ballroom, and there's visual presentations, there's panel discussions, there's a buffet dinner with everyone. So you get to meet everyone during the course, and you can walk around the Dealey Plaza, which is the most fun of all.
Yep. True.
A lot of these people are not going to be around forever, people. So
I can say that firsthand.
Yeah.
When we went in 2022 to Kappa had the opportunity to interview Cyril Wecht, and we also talked to Philip Nelson, both of whom have passed away since.
You mean they're gone?
They have died, yes.
They have moved on to another plane. Okay,
Absolutely.
he's right about that. But we have captured the interviews, so
that's true.
Sadly, a lot of this generation is passing on now. The second generation is, I guess, what would be accurate of Kennedy researchers.
Yeah, well, Cyril Wecht was probably first gen.
I don't know about that.
Well, he was 92.
No, I know he was, but I'm trying to remember. He did not come on the scene till late in life. He was not in the original group. That's for sure.
Okay, let me see. All right. Wanted to share this because it's fun to watch Tucker and his confusion about his dad. We did a great episode on.
Yeah, what's this about, Eric? Why is he so confused all of a sudden? I thought we settled this.
But here he's talking in June 2024.
Right.
And so when I applied to CIA, and I've taken a lot of crap, including from Putin, like, oh, you're from a CIA family. Well, yeah, obviously my father worked in conjunction with CIA. I mean, that's what that is. And I tried to join the CIA.
His father was the head of USAID.
I'm not being false about it.
Yeah.
Native talent. And he's attacking my dad as a CIA. His dad's in the CIA or whatever. And I'm like, well, that's no, untrue. And my father dies, and I learn actually, was involved in that world.
Wait, what happened?
Completely shocked by it.
What?
So come on, can you get any better than that? Oh, I happen to find out.
Really?
Shockers! Dad was in the CIA,
but he knew it the year before. Apparently,
he knew it the year before. He applied for the CIA. I mean, come on.
Right. I mean, his dad technically was the head of USAID, which was so spooked up. There's no degree of separation between the two organizations.
Right. And let it be known that here, this isn't definitive proof of his knowing his dad was CIA, but it's proof that he knows that his dad is, I think, a bit spooky. Let's look at young Tucker.
Okay, young Tuck.
With my reporter's notebook, so I'm out of material, as we say.
You took a pretty well publicized trip with your father. Was it about a year and a half ago? How long has it been?
Since we were in Pakistan?
The two of you together? The one where you got left behind for a couple of days.
Oh, no, that was when I went to Vietnam with John McCain. Yeah, I had a hassle at the airport.
And are you still traveling with your father on trips?
Well, I didn't go with him on that trip. No, actually, we went to Pakistan together this time. And we had a problem coming back when our plane went down. But we're fine. Had a great
plane
time.
Went down?
Yeah, we were on a Pakistan Airways flight from Peshawar to from Dubai.
Yeah, as one travels.
In a crash.
And, were people injured?
Yeah, a number of people were injured.
You seem to have a lot of adventures when you travel.
Well, I don't know. You leave the country. It's a scary world out there.
How often and why do you travel professionally with your father?
I don't. I just went on this trip with him. I was actually planning going with another friend of mine who's a reporter, but he didn't go. He couldn't go at the last minute, and not fun to travel abroad by yourself. My father's a great guy to travel with, and very amusing and adventurous person who's up for anything.
I'd say so.
Let's go to Pakistan. Okay.
Yeah.
For people that don't know him.
Yeah, that's a good.
I mean, it could happen. Let me. This guy has now exposed himself to be a spook, and I know people are kicking and screaming because they all have not accepted it yet. He has worked for every single political news channel there is. His father, head of USAID, claims to have applied for the CIA. I didn't do that. Eric didn't do that. Anderson Cooper did that. Tucker Carlson did that. At the height of Operation Mockingbird, still continuing on, these men tried to get jobs at the CIA and apparently did, and went back out into the journalistic community and reported back to his dad for decades. I know this sounds hard to believe because everyone loves Tucker, but he's apparently haunted by demons now. Who
scratching
his chest in the middle of the night. I mean, give me a break with this fucking dude already. We're done with this cat. Done. Bye, Tucker. And anyone wants to see the episode, I strongly recommend it. It's one of my best. Dick Carlson, I've known about him for many years, and Eric and I put together a show just on Dick Carlson, his father, that I believe will stand the test of time.
Yeah, I think it's gotten a couple hundred thousand views.
Oh, wow, that's a lot.
And it is an excellent, but I don't want to completely rule out, because he did have that interview with Candace Owens, and we have a representation of it from our friend Ami, who's come on the channel.
Oh my God, stop. I can't take it. I'm gonna have a heart attack. Stop.
And so I remember when somebody sent me a clip of Nick Fuentes, actually. I remember I watched it, and it was something like, Jews are parasitic. They're taking over the country. They're here as parasites. We need to fight them. We need to fight them wherever they are. They are a despicable race, a despicable community, and we need to destroy them. And my initial thought was, wow, this kid's talented.
Yeah.
Like really, really talented. Like, as someone who does this, to be able to just riff like that on camera, I just thought, wow, that is talent.
Sure.
Like, sincerely, I thought this is talent, like raw, native talent.
Yeah.
I think lying is a terrible thing. I really do. I think it does terrible things to you. I know, because I do it all the time. I'm lying right now. I would never try to lie, like at all, but I do it.
Right.
I just really believe, I sincerely believe, that there are certain things that are so important, that are too important in life: friendship, loyalty,
Yeah.
integrity. And the test of that is, are you able to maintain these relationships over time? And which is why you're not friends with anyone from before, right?
No.
Like anyone, like at all. Bye-bye. But it's them.
Yeah.
It's them. It's absolutely them. It's all them. And I also believe in accountability.
Me too.
All right, I'll leave that there. Everybody,
Brilliant, brilliant. This guy is brilliant. I mean, just fantastic political satire and mimicry. Beautifully done. Beautifully done.
Absolutely. And the funny part about all this is, well, we'll reach back to what we were saying. I guess it was North Carolina or whatever, and you had the Nazis versus the commies, and they were fighting it out.
Nazis, Klan, and commies fighting it out.
Okay.
Yeah, all three.
And you
elements.
didn't know who to cheer for, but right now there is an ongoing battle between Tucker Carlson and Nick Fuentes.
Oh,
and
my
Candace
God.
Owens.
Oh, my
And I'm just
God.
saying that this is the same thing.
I don't know who to root for.
Exactly. Exactly. As a matter of fact, that clip of his, I don't know, my father's, and I think that was actually from Nick Fuentes.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
he's been digging stuff out and putting it out there, and it's like,
Let me tell you something. History is going to absolve us for pointing this out, and history will bury these people for their anti-Semitic tirades. There will be a price to pay politically for them, in my humble opinion.
yeah,
I've seen a turning of the tide in the past few weeks. People have gotten a lot more aggressive in defense of the Jews, regular people, non-Jews, because it is gotten so far out of control where people are now pushing back for the first time, and you could feel that the tide is turning. At least from my perspective, this is anecdotal, but I feel the tide is turning.
I think it may well be
Trump,
and I think that the rhetoric is getting worse and heated. I keep saying that the more heated the rhetoric gets and the more outlandish it is, the more that they're losing. I think they have to yell louder to get noticed.
Right, the internet lasts forever, Eric.
So, I mean, here is
Candy face.
Candace,
Candy face.
I would love to have Theo Von welcome President Trump, back onto his podcast to question Trump about his own addictions, because it's unfortunate, but I think
Where are
he is
they?
now just straight up snorting lines of Israel.
What?
Demonstrably, I think Israel might be the most destructive drug to hit the market since 1948, because that drug did not exist before 1948. But Trump has been on something. Here he is. Like many people, once they go and they touch this wall, they become something else. And we just have to acknowledge that these are the signs of addiction. Right now, Trump is on his front porch like an owl. Things aren't making sense. He is his own street light right now.
What?
You know the patterns. All of us are familiar with addiction. Theo Von's talking about his addiction. I don't think I know a single person who doesn't have someone in their family that deals with addiction. And we're familiar with the signs. There's, I don't know, naming one here, erratic decision-making. It's like out tweeting bomb, Iran, changing your mind overnight to go and do that because Bibi Netanyahu, who's like your dealer, told you to. I would love.
Oh boy, that's an incredible stretch of soliloquy there. What a nut! What a freaking nut! And she will eventually pay the price because justice will be done. And I mean that as social justice, not as criminal justice. I mean that socially, she's going to have to answer to a higher authority than herself.
No, I agree. I agree. I just, it's like a gift, I guess. It just keeps on, keeps on giving and going and going and going and going. You know what? I meant to cover this on Friday because I figured you had thoughts about it.
Maui.
Mel Gibson's starting to get out there and get around talking about
I've heard that.
politics.
People have mentioned seeing him. Yeah. However, I mean, he's got to do something. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, sure.
Plan. What do you think the Maui locals think of the Maui plan? Yeah. I'm sorry. There aren't any more locals living there anymore. They all had to leave town. You think the people of the Palisades or Altadena are going to be consulted about how their areas are reimagined by Newsom and Bass? Huh?
Anyway, I didn't know if you had seen that.
No, I haven't seen it, but his name has been popping up, and he could dominate the race. Apparently, what people are talking about today is not him, but Trump endorsing one or not endorsing any or one of the Republican candidates for governor, and putting his finger on the scale to either get rid of them, the others, and to focus on one. There's apparently a business guy, Cordone, or a guy I don't know, a friend of Trump's, who is a business guy. He's on CNBC every once in a while. I think his name is Cordone, who Trump may be backing, who's not in the race as it is right now. There's Steve Hilton, who used to be on Fox.
Right.
If Trump endorses or not endorses, Rick Caruso may or may not enter the race. So because of Trump's power, it may have a huge effect on the California race. Now, Trump is very close to Mel Gibson. And I have said on this show, and I just pulled it out of my ass months ago, that Mel Gibson would be someone who could run the table and actually become like a Schwarzenegger, a more conservative version of Schwarzenegger because of his star power and his closeness to Trump. He is a choice that I could see defeating all comers on the left. Now that Harris has cleared the lane, the only other, my original choice was RFK Jr., who now has a job apparently working for Trump. But there was Nicole Shanahan, who's got billions of dollars that she got from her Jewish husband, who founded either Google or something, right? I forget what her husband founded. Google, right?
Yeah.
Right.
She was the second wife. I think the first wife did 23andMe, and I think she's like the second wife.
Right. So
Whatever.
she has threatened to run repeatedly. She's kind of all over the map, so I don't know. But the guy I really wanted from day one in this situation is Mel Gibson. Now, Mel is batshit crazy. Keep in mind, he is a crazy motherfucker. He's a nice guy, crazy as all shit, extremely talented, hopefully sober. So
yeah, isn't he the one who flies out and
well, don't undermine him. Don't throw a monkey wrench into his campaign yet.
Well, you've said it before, so you've already monkey wrenched
why
him
do I
to
have to
death.
bring it up again? We're trying to get the guy to run.
Oh God, somebody's saying Grant Cardone. No,
Yes,
not
that's
Grant
the
Cardone.
guy. That's the guy.
Oh God, no.
Who is that guy?
Major Scientologist.
Oh, forget it.
I'm serious. One of the biggest.
Okay, well
Scientologists out
then
there.
forget about it. Don't worry about it. Okay, so let's go with Mel Gibson, everybody. Everybody who wants Mel Gibson, please raise your hand in the chat. Let's see some hands.
Yeah, I like this. What about Mike Schaefer saying, what about Scott Jennings for a political office? Well, there's talks about him running for McConnell's seat.
Yeah, there is. Hold on, there is a talk. You're right.
So anything is possible. Oh, Mark is fetching now. What do we have here? What is
he
coming up?
announced, Eric, or no?
I don't think he has, but he just picked up like a major pay upgrade from CNN. I feel like he could be in line to be press secretary too. So, but Trump has already asked him to run for McConnell's seat, and it's a good time to do it.
That's a great endorsement.
I mean, if he picks that up, he'll be in there forever. You know, it could be like he's got good 30 years career right there.
Wow. I just want to plug this thing for tomorrow. There's a book called A Comedy Samurai. It's one of the best inside Hollywood books I've ever read. And I'm just saying that because I read this type of genre of inside Hollywood stories. It's written by Larry Charles, who's going to be a guest on my show tomorrow on What's Up with Lord Buckley. It is unbelievable, this book, because he is involved in so much really gigantic pop culture, from Seinfeld to Borat to Bill Maher to Entourage to The Dictator, Bob Dylan, Masked and Anonymous, that he wrote and directed with Bob Dylan. Get the book, because it is well worth reading. Comedy Samurai came out about a month ago, and Larry's going to be on tomorrow. We'll probably not talk about any of this shit because we'll get bogged down talking about cheesecake or some stupid thing. But
he's also doesn't really lean too far.
Well, it's not. We're not talking about politics on the show. We're talking about pop culture tomorrow, and we both come from Coney Island. We both experienced living in Trump Village, and he was raised in Trump Village, actually. So we're going to talk about Seinfeld's creation and how he wrote and sold jokes at the Improv, like apparently everybody else did. But there's going to be a lot of good stuff tomorrow with Larry, hopefully.
Yeah, no, it sounds good. Different. No, Thursday I should be releasing an interview with JT Hunter myself. Again, I'm trying to do something every day. Like yesterday, I pulled something from the vaults. Jack Barsky, a spy. We've got this show Tuesday and Friday at 5:30. Mark's show at 6 p.m. So 4 days a week, 5:30 p.m. Eastern time. There's some sort of content going, and then Wednesday, Mark has to reset the clock, and it's 6 o'clock for Mark on Wednesdays, where everybody wants to check out this show. I wanted to share
what is Bill Clinton going to say when he gets to testify, when he gets his subpoena? 34 trips on the plane. Like, what is he? They're going to ask him
define a trip.
Okay. I see where you're going. I see where you're going.
If there's a pattern of that, it's like, define a plane trip, define a whatever. I can imagine that. Okay, I had this queued up for, I think it was last week, but I just thought it was funny. I haven't been able to confirm it completely, but if it's true, it's great. Here's the headline: breaking. Democratic activist and influencer Olivia Juliana has reportedly been dismissed from her position as the DNC's young male voter outreach coordinator due to poor performance. Now, What was her title again? DNC's young male voter outreach coordinator.
But she's a woman? Oh boy. Is that AI, Eric? That can't be real.
This is her.
On the right?
With Crockett.
My, what is she, 6'11"? What the hell is that thing?
This is the young male voter outreach coordinator.
I'm confused.
They invested $20 million into her campaign.
Oh my God. Look at this freak. Look at this freak of nature. For the love of God, I feel sorry for her.
I don't understand. Why wouldn't the men be lining up to get behind that?
God bless these people. Their party's about to disappear from the face of the earth. What the hell is that thing? She's got like you know what it looks like? Mr. Potato Head. How many people think she looks like Mr. Potato Head? Like, you put the glasses on, you put the nose on, and it's Mr. Potato Head. Or Miss Potato Head, in this case.
Maybe. Yeah, somebody said not enough beer on earth. I agree.
Right. Oh, dear God.
It shows. Well, remember, okay, we're stepping back in time, but remember that commercial they did, to reach out to men, like, I can drive a truck. And it was so clunky, that commercial. I'm like, gee, I wonder, now I have no surprise who came up with this.
Her. That's who came up with
that was her department.
Oh, my God. Dude, they are so out of touch with the earth. It's just a beautiful thing to watch.
Yeah, thank God.
God bless them. They're so out of touch. God bless them.
I agree. And it's an interesting state that right now, the potential front runner for president is AOC. She's drawing the most traction
or what
on
do
the
you
left.
think? Statistically?
I think that the odds are pretty well in her favor. She's the one who has the energy on that side and everything else. Obviously Gavin Newsom's going to be in the mix, but he can go up, he can go down. AOC has a pretty scary amount of influence for the Democrats, and she definitely will be better off in the primaries than Gavin Newsom.
Okay.
Because the primaries are all the whack jobs, and she covers the whack job, part very, very well.
He can compete in the whack job department.
He can. Well,
he's got a greatest hits album that he could pull out of the greatest whack. He could bury her with his whack job in this. I mean, he's got shit that no man. I mean, he fucked his own campaign manager's wife, and then he went to rehab with another girl, and then left the rehab because he had sex with some other 17-year-old girl who worked on his campaign. He could go toe to toe with the best of them, Hunley. I am sticking with Newsom. You could go with AOC. I'm sticking with Newsom for the win. It's going to be. I think.
Can
it's
you
gonna
imagine
be,
a debate?
No, well, I think it's going to be
between
J.D. Vance and Gavin Newsom. I think those are the two that are going to come out of this thing.
All right. Well, we'll find out.
I think she'll be a Kamala Harris type, and they'll pull the plug on her. He's a 600-pound gorilla.
No,
he really is. This in the way the Democratic Party is right now. He is the only good thing going for them, and that's not saying much, but it is what it is.
And what about like the Gretchen Whitmers of the world?
Nah, they got to get a guy. They need a guy, and this guy is the guy at this time. They've gotten their ass kicked with Hillary, with her, with Harris, and they're going to go.
Be Pritzker or whatever.
No, not that fat fuck. It's not going to be him. This guy is the guy at this time. I mean, he's going to have the endorsement of Pelosi. He's already got the endorsement of Joe Biden repetitively. There's just too much going in the momentum for Newsom at this point.
But don't take away from my clown car that I want to see of all of
No, she may be a vice presidential candidate, Eric.
Oh, I think
she might be his ticket. Then maybe that's part of the ticket.
Yeah, people are saying Vance. I have a feeling it might be Vance Rubio.
We don't know.
Republicans.
We don't know.
I don't know yet, but I'm just saying, if we were to say today, at this exact moment in time, I could almost see that being the ticket. You get the Latino underneath, and whatever. But we shall find out. Somebody saying Vance Gabbard. I can't see Gabbard being a VP candidate, just because there's too much of the left side, crossing the full way. All right, we got more super chats though. RX Zen with $20. Thank you very much,
Thanks,
RX Zen.
Thank you. You don't know if it's a girl or a boy, so you say thanks, bro, but it could be a girl.
Oh, God, that's funny. You've answered comments before, and got the gender wrong. It's hilarious. It's like, okay, how the hell am I supposed to know when you're saying a cat who sat on the moon?
Yeah, we don't know.
Whatever you're like.
I try not to do it, but sometimes it slips out.
Let me see. Jordan R. Have you guys
That could
seen
go either way too? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Jordan. That's true. Have you guys seen South Park's newest episode? Would you rank it among any episodes with Garrison as Trump? What?
I've seen the newest episode, and I don't know what it has to do with Garrison as Trump. But I've commented on the new episode last week.
Right. I thought there was one since then. I don't know if it's come out yet where they have where Cartman plays Charlie Kirk.
Oh, that I haven't seen.
So yeah, I don't know if that's out. I think it got delayed, but I don't know if it's come out yet. I haven't really kept up.
There's a guy named Cheeks. His last name is Cheeks, and he's been assigned by David Ellison, the head of Skydance, the new owner of Paramount, to oversee South Park.
Okay. Just South Park, not the whole network?
Just South Park.
Okay.
So
we
don't know what's going to happen.
I thought they did come up with a new CEO of Paramount.
They did, but this guy Cheeks has been assigned. David Ellison is going to be the owner of the whole the whole
No,
thing.
I know he'll be the owner, but I don't think he's the CEO. I think he's just the owner. He probably doesn't want to deal with it. No, Cheeks is the CEO.
Okay.
So Cheeks, Chris McCarthy, and Brian Robbins. But okay, cool. Oh, I mean, they have to get new leadership, and oh God, was it Stephen Colbert? I couldn't believe there were a bunch of headlines a couple days ago about Stephen Colbert gets a new gig on this show. On this show. Apparently, he's guest starring as a late night talk show host on a drama. I'm like,
yeah, he's going to do that for the year. He's going to keep doing different things to keep earning his paycheck.
Or at least trying to earn relevance. Toodly Pip, is Dealey Plaza being demolished?
No.
I think they stopped that. And ironically, because it being part of the Works program under FDR, that it was historical site to begin with, and they can't really touch it because of the federal laws, which is a lucky break because they were planning on taking it down and rebuilding it to the thing of the future or whatever the hell it was.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's okay. Paul Henry. Was John M. Liggett the mortician that did post-mortem reconstructive surgery on JFK's head?
He just plugged in some clay in the holes. To be blunt, I mean, Liggett took him about 5 minutes. Usually they plug the leaks before you put into the travel casket, so he doesn't. There's no way to tell this, but so he doesn't leak during the transportation to Bethesda. So this guy Liggett did some cosmetic work on the head, plugging the leaks.
I mean, as gross as that all sounds,
that's the way it's done. I mean, that's happens.
Like hands when they leave a crime, they put bags around the hands and stuff. Whatever you're trying to hold on to everything that you can. It's evidence as well. And Paul Henry asked it twice, I guess. So,
or maybe you ran it twice.
Or I don't think I read it twice. So it said 2, and then I let that go, and now it's 1. So,
well, I can answer it again. The surgery was. There was no surgery done by a mortician while the body was being transported from Parkland to the plane, but there was cosmetic work done to plug him while he was put into the casket. And by the way, people think that this casket was alone and people could do things to it. There was Kennedy people, O'Donnell and Powers, and the general,
right?
And Berkeley and also the general, they never left the side of this casket for 5 goddamn seconds, and people believe they were switching bodies and doing all this stuff to the corpse. There was just no time for it to physically happen. In fact, when they were carrying the casket up the gangplank or whatever the stairs are to the plane, the handle broke off, and then they had to, before they could even put the casket inside, they had to go out and go into the plane and remove the last few rows of seats to make room for the casket in the back of the plane with screwdrivers. And it was 120 degrees in the plane, and they were unscrewing the seats to make room for the casket to sit back there, which they sat next to it the entire flight.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. You would not leave that untended, I hope. I mean, it is the president of the United States still. But on that note, especially if we're going to get into dark, gruesome topics we can't say on YouTube, we need to scurry off to locals. And locals is where we can talk about crazy, dark, silly, insane, radical, whatever you want. And you know what? It's free to become a member. And if you really like what we do, you can actually support us further and pay $70 a year. And you will get even more material on locals, including the ability to get in the chat yourself, make the snarky comments. We have we have some dedicated people who I'm not going to say trolls, but we'll say are trollish, and they will poke fun at it. Some who take a lot of joy, especially poking fun at me. I'm a target rich environment. I'm a big, chubby, target rich environment for some folks on locals, but I hope you consider joining us over there. And if not, we will see you on Friday. The news isn't stopping anytime soon.
Well, tomorrow, Wednesday, Lord Buckley will be interviewing Larry Charles, a long-haired, bearded person from Coney Island.
Very weird one, too.
He's very strange, Larry Charles.